Week 18 is here, and for some, it passed you right by. The Jacksonville Jaguars officially out of playoff contention and out of playoff play as they lose 28-20. That is 5 losses in their last 6 games to give up what looked to be a mathematical certainty not long ago. Welcome to the Game Day Scoreboard presented by Geico. Joe Musso alongside the 2-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden. B-Mac, this is a moment and a series of moments that will not be forgotten by Jacksonville Jaguars fans, and I see that wry smile on your face because this Jaguars result ensures a couple of other things. The Pittsburgh Steelers, most notably for you, in the playoff picture. Houston, a division champion and locked into the 4 seed. They will get Cleveland coming to town. We'll talk about all of those subsequent results off of this Jacksonville game, but we have to start right there with the inability to do what they needed to do here. This was a mathematical certainty some 6 weeks ago that they'd be a playoff team, almost mathematically certain that they'd win this division. Where did you see the drop-off, and how did that rear its head here in the final opportunity of the year?
I think the drop-off happened with the quarterback play. Trevor Lawrence, untimely turnovers. We saw that surface again today. 2 interceptions. Of course, the second interception was more on Evan Ingram than Trevor Lawrence, but yet and still in the stat sheet, it shows up for Trevor Lawrence. The earlier pick overthrew the wide receiver, big-time opportunity for Tennessee defensively. They cashed in. Those were common mistakes that we oftentimes see surfaced in his game. And, Joe, you talked about it. Weeks ago, we felt like this was the team that was destined to get into the playoffs because of the nice lead, the separation they had with the other teams in the division. I mean, Joe, in the last 6 ball games, they're 1-5. 1-5. The only win came against the Carolina Panthers. They had an opportunity. If you win one more ball game, you're probably in a better situation than you're currently sitting. So because of that 6-game stretch where they were just playing bad football, mostly on the offensive side, they're now on the outside looking in when you talk about the playoffs. And this has been a disappointing run for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The success they had a year ago, getting into the playoffs, battling against the Kansas City Chiefs, basically losing that game by 1 possession. Coming into this year, in comes Calvin Ridley, who missed the entire season a year ago. You talk about another year with Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson making a few additions also on both sides of the football field. And then, of course, the uncertainties with the other teams in their division, especially at the quarterback position. We all felt like this division was theirs to lose. So not only will the Jacksonville Jaguars not win their division, they're not making the playoffs because they did not take care of their business against a team that had nothing to play for.
On November 26th, the Jags beat the Texans. That was to move to 8-3 on the season. It was a 2-game lead in the South. By the numbers, according to Sportsline, 91% chance to win the division, 98% chance to make the playoffs. Since then, 5 of 6 the wrong way, and they miss out on the playoffs. This is a legacy day. This is one of those days that determines how people talk about you. Are you amending heading into next year the way you're talking about Trevor Lawrence? We saw all of the big talent, but who you are in this type of moment often is how you are defined. How does this affect the way you're looking at Trevor Lawrence?
I'm concerned because, the success he had last year, we felt like he finally had a structured offense to work within, and we saw the fruits of his labor being a part of a structured offensive team. And then this year we saw flashes here or there, but then the costly mistakes, especially in the red zone. You can't have these things surface in your ball game if you're considering to be a team that could get into the playoffs, if we consider you to be that type team. And now when you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars moving forward, clearly they still have the players they need to have to be able to be competitive. But their division, I mean, the gap is closing dramatically in the division because before the season kicked off this season, Joe, we didn't know exactly what Houston would look like with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. We didn't know exactly what the Colts would look like with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, right? It looks like those teams looking pretty good right now, right? They look like they found their coach. Most importantly, they found their coach, and especially with the Houston Texans, they found their quarterback.
Ain't no doubt about it.
So in a division where we felt like the Jacksonville Jaguars had the best quarterback. I don't think we can say that now moving forward.
I think that is a debate that we will have and will wage in the years to come, certainly. But in this moment, Jacksonville lets it slip right through their fingers. 5 of 6 in the loss column. They miss out on the playoffs. And again, this was the result that plenty of other teams and cities had their eyes on as well. Again, with this loss, Houston is your division champion. They will get Cleveland in the first round of the playoffs coming to Houston.
Yep.
We now know all of our AFC playoff teams. It's just a matter of seeding based off of the final game of the season between the Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo, there's no longer that scenario of if they lose, they're out. It is a mathematical certainty they are a playoff team. I want to take you to Pittsburgh for a moment. I know you're always willing to go there. There's going to be a fruit basket of some sort sent from one Bryant McFadden to the greater Tennessee area off of this win. Mac, if Miami wins tonight, Pittsburgh goes to Kansas City. If Buffalo wins tonight, Pittsburgh goes to Buffalo. Which is the lesser of two evils? Where do you want to see your team play?
I mean, 2 high-level type teams. But if I had to pick one right now, give me Kansas City.
Okay, why?
Give me Kansas City because I think offensively, their personnel, there are some issues, right? I think there are areas offensively, not named Pat Mahomes or Travis Kelce, where they're a bit vulnerable. And I'm talking about what we watched the entire season. Now, we know how great Pat Mahomes is and can be. We know how great Travis Kelce is and what he can be as well. But everything else that's surrounding those guys haven't really been super polished. They haven't really been super consistent. Now, Rashee Rice has really emerged to be a big-time contributor in the passing game as of late, but he's a rookie. Outside of that, you know, it's almost like trying to close your eyes and pick exactly who is going to surface in the game plan for that particular ball game. So for Pittsburgh, when you talk about the personnel offensively, we haven't seen the consistency in which we've watched from the Kansas City Chiefs in years past, where you would be, oh, we go to Kansas City. We know they got Pat, we know they got Travis, but they got this guy, they got that guy. Outside of that, they really haven't shown that consistently. With the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen is still Josh Allen, even though he's been known to give up a few here or there, which is a good thing to have if you're playing against him. But they got Stephon Diggs. The way they're running the football with James Cook, I mean, really surfaced big time. Offensive line play has really been improved as of late, especially since Joe Brady became the OC there. So I would say right now it would be Kansas City, because we know how great the quarterback is, Andy Reid, the playoff experience, going to Arrowhead, hearing the chant, all of that. It means something, but let's keep it real. Let's be honest. This offense that we've watched this year is not the same offense that we've seen in years past. Right, averaging around 22 points per ball game.
Certainly. That's
below the average in Kansas City based on what we've seen with Andy Reid and Money Pat Mahomes. So I would say, right now to answer your question, let's go to Kansas City, baby.
I know you've heard of Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. How about Houston, Buffa, Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
All given thanks to this season-ending loss
Coach Vrabel
for Jacksonville.
Woo!
Braves ended on a high note here. They will not see playoff football, but they do give a gift to others.
Great job, Tennessee.
A thank you from our Bryant McFadden. We got plenty more coming here on Game Day Scoreboard. More tickets punched and more hats and T-shirts. Baker and the Bucks headed for playoff football. Wasn't pretty. We'll show you how they got there.